I get a lot of questions asking about my bench press, specifically how I reached a 475-pound bench naturally and how I benched 315 pounds for 21 reps naturally at 213 pounds body weight at 6'2". In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how you can program your bench to make sure that you're progressing week by week and hitting crazy numbers that you never thought were possible. In today's video, we're going to be going over how to program bench press properly. Guys, before we get into the video, I just want to briefly touch on my website, zachluch.com. I am a certified personal trainer and a certified nutritional coach, and I do online coaching. So if you are interested in one-on-one personalized coaching to help you reach your goals and see you at your best and max potential, go look on there for the one-on-one personalized coaching. But I also do offer workout programs that is just a one-time, very affordable payment for 4, 6, or 8 weeks long of training, specifically for muscle hypertrophy or muscle size, muscular strength or stimulus, and then advanced and intermediate and beginner workout programs. So if you are interested in workout plans or just one-on-one personalized coaching, go give my website a look. You can also see testimonials from my past and current clients. And if it's something you want to do and take action on, go fill out a consultation, a free consultation with me, and let's see how I can best help you reach your goals. Now let's jump right into the video, guys. This is going to be a rough structure of how you can program your bench, guys, so you can see gains. But if you're stuck at a sticking point, or your form is trash, or your accessory work is trash, or you just don't know how to properly progress for you, I do suggest looking into my one-on-one personalized coaching, because I can definitely help you there, and it would be way easier to help you when you have someone like me looking at all your videos for bench, seeing what's going right, what's going wrong, and how I can help you best reach your bench goals. But in this video, I'm just going to give you guys a basic outline of how you can kind of progress your bench if you are someone who is struggling. And you're probably doing one of these mistakes I'm going to mention briefly in this video. The first thing we're going to touch base on, guys, is why most people's bench never goes up. And this is because most people train bench completely random. One week, they're completely maxing out on bench. One week, they're going super light. One week or every other week, they're trying to max out reps. Then they wonder why their bench press has been stuck for years and they just can't seem to grow it or get stronger at it. Bench press is not a lift that just goes up by accident. You need structure, guys. You need progression, guys. You need fatigue management. And most importantly, you need to be patient or have patience. And that's because bench press strength is built over time, not just from one crazy intense all-out max workout. Bench press, like every other compound lift, you need to have some sort of structure behind your training. You need to have some sort of progression behind your weeks and blocks, and you need to be able to manage fatigue. We can't have a too high fatigue or stimulus to fatigue ratio where our stimulus is low and our fatigue is super high. And just like everything in life, guys, you must have patience, especially when it comes to strength training. One of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to grow their bench or get stronger at the bench press is that they're maxing out every single week. It's like you're treating every single session of bench press like it's a competition. Like you have to do more than last week. You have to get more reps than last week. That's just not how bench press works. Every workout you do, you step foot in the gym and you say, how much can I lift today? But constantly testing your strength is not going to build your strength. Training maxes and actual maxes are two different things. If you're always trying to bench with RPE of 10, always failing reps, and just always grinding each rep or each set, your recovery is going to get destroyed. Your shoulders hurt, your elbows hurt, your bar speed goes down, and most importantly, your progression stalls. You do not need to max out every session to get stronger at the bench press. You need quality reps, quality sets. All right, so let's get into what your bench should actually look like in terms of progression. Now, what I'm going to explain right now is not exactly how I follow my bench. It's not exactly how I program bench for my clients or how I would program bench for you, right? Variance is the key, not the exception. Everyone is different. Everyone needs different accessory work, different bench variations, different sets, different volumes, different frequencies for how many times they're benching a week. But in the grand scheme of things, in the broad scheme of things, the progression I'm going to show you on the whiteboard right now is a good outline that you can follow that should help you increase your bench press. And a good bench program usually starts lighter and then gradually gets harder over multiple weeks. So for example, we can say that week 1, we're going to do 4 sets of 5 reps at maybe a 6 or 7 RPE, or an RPE of 6 or 7. Then week 2, we do that same 4 sets of 5 reps, but now we're going slightly heavier, maybe a 7 to an 8 RPE, or an RPE of 7 or 8. Now, week 3, right, we're going to cut volume down a little bit. So now maybe we're doing a 4x4 on bench at an RPE of 8. And then now maybe week 4, we start incorporating a top set that gets heavier while also just doing less volume, but then still staying around that RPE 8 or maybe a 9, right? And this top set can look like a 1x3, and then maybe a couple sets of back downs like 2x4, 2x5. But the goal is that our top set, our heaviest set, is decreasing in volume or lowering in volume, but intensity is still right around where we had it at week 3, but maybe slightly greater. Guys, and then eventually we deload. We reduce our fatigue, we recover, and then we build that going into another block. That is exactly how you actually accumulate strength, right? Now this block could be 4 weeks, it could be 6 weeks, it could be 8 weeks, it could be 12 weeks if we're preparing for a meet. The goal is that we are not maxing out on bench press, guys, for over 5 weeks. Yes, we maybe have a top set of RPE 8 or RPE 9, but that is a great fine line for getting enough strength adaptation through stimulus without creating so much fatigue build up. And then we just repeat this process over and over and over again. Now you notice I mentioned RPE. What is RPE and why does it matter for bench press? RPE is the rate of perceived exertion, basically stating or indicating how hard or how intense a set was. And a lot of people hear RPE and assume it's confusing, but it's actually very simple. Like I said, RPE just measures how hard a set feels. For example, RPE 10 means max or full out exertion, no reps left. RPE 9 means maybe 1 rep left. RPE 8 equals maybe 2 reps left, and then so on and so forth, right? It's a scale 1 through 10, 10 meaning you're all out max, and then as we go down, it's lighter loads, lighter intensity. And this matters for bench press a lot, because if every set we do on bench press is a grinder, we build way more fatigue than we actually do strength or stimulus. And then fatigue builds faster than strength. And guys, the best bench pressers know exactly when to push their strength and when to pull back and hold off. And that's the whole thing about progression and structure. And if you actually follow these things or know how to progress with bench press, some days will feel lighter than others, and that's exactly how it's supposed to be. And that's exactly how you stay recovered enough to progress every single week. Now let's briefly go over why volume will build your bench press as well. Most people think strength only comes lifting super heavy, but a huge part of bench press progress is actually volume. And it's just as simple as it's more quality pressing work. That's why a lot of strong bench pressers bench 2, 3, or even 4 times every single week. But not every session is at maximal effort. Some days focus on technique work, paused reps, tempo work, close grip, or just higher rep work. And that's because the more quality reps you accumulate, the better your bench mechanics become. If we max out every single session on bench, our form is going to crumble, right? But technique and specificity are super crucial for gaining a stronger bench press. And that's exactly why we don't max out every session, so we're able to bench twice a week, 3 times a week, or even 4 times a week. Because we're doing technique work, we're doing bench accessory work, we're doing weak point work, we're doing all that to help build our technique and our mechanics. And then that brings me to my next point about accessories matter too. Bench press is just not chest strength. If you have weak triceps, your bench will stall. If you have weak shoulders, your bench will stall. If you have a weak upper back, your bench becomes unstable. If you have poor shoulder control, your bar path falls apart. That's why a good bench press program usually includes things like rows, tricep work, rear delts, upper back, overhead presses, and then also just a lot of shoulder Stability work. Yes, we just talked about how important it is to bench for technique and mechanics, but a stronger bench press comes out of doing things that are not just bench too. A lot of people over fatigue when they're doing bench press or any heavy compound movement. And that's because a lot of lifters do way too much. Too many failure sets, too much junk volume, and especially too much ego lifting. And then their bench press feels worse every single week because your fatigue hides your fitness. If your nervous system is constantly exhausted, your performance will drop. That's why smart lifters or smart coaches manage fatigue before it becomes a problem, not after they're already burning out. If you want a bigger bench press, guys, stop chasing random workouts and start following progression. Build your training in blocks, increase your intensity gradually, use the RPE scale intelligently, manage fatigue and recover properly. And most importantly, stay consistent long enough for strength to accumulate. Because the strongest bench pressers aren't the people who just train the hardest. They are usually the ones who train the smartest. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. This was just a brief video going over how you can progress on bench or what to look for in bench press programming and training. I've been getting a lot of comments about how I got such a heavy bench press and how you guys can too. So hopefully this video helped out a little bit. What I went over today is just the basics and the foundation of how you can structure a bench program to get stronger. But like I said, variance is the key, not the exception. All of us are different. We all need certain different training styles, different progression, different structure, different accessory work, and everything that entails. Hopefully it's gonna help you grow your bench, guys, but if you are really trying to grow your bench, I suggest you look into my website or hit me up on Instagram for one-on-one personalized coaching. That way you have more hands-on help from me to know exactly where your bench is falling apart, what you need to work on, your sticking points, your weak points, how you can progress, and everything that's built around you, your lifestyle, your habits, your training. If you are interested in what I went over for a strength program, but a little more in depth, go check out my website. I have a strength protocol program that will not only help your bench, but also your squat and deadlift too. So if you want something that's a little more in depth, a little more intricate, go check that out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video though. Like always, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you haven't subscribed, we just hit 9,000 subscribers. We're so close to 10,000. It's on the horizon, guys. I couldn't be more grateful and blessed. You guys don't even know how thankful I am to every single one of you. But I really hope this video helps you guys. But like always, guys, if you have a question about this video or a future video that you want me to do, drop it in the comments below. I respond to every single comment, and I'm more than happy to help. If you're not interested in any sort of program or training or one-on-one personalized coaching, I am here to help you guys. So feel free to drop a comment about anything we went over in this video or anything that you're struggling with, and I'll be sure to answer you as soon as possible. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. God bless you all. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.